ways to, pardon the pun, drum up interest in the ensemble for this year. Our instructor, Ms. Severo, suggested that, well, I could come to school and actually teach all of our middle school students an easy piece on the steel drums, and perhaps they'll be interested in joining the club. So the purpose of this performance is twofold. One is to give our students a chance to show you what they've managed to do in just 3 class periods, actually 3 40-minute sessions, which is pretty remarkable. I'm really proud of you guys. You've been awesome. And also to encourage them to come out next week on Monday from 3 to 5 p.m. and audition for the ensemble if they're interested. It's a club that meets all year. It's a mixed high school and middle school ensemble, which worked very well for us last year. And we're looking forward to entertaining you. I will now turn it over to Ms. Severo. And we'll see.
Go ahead and give it a try.
Oh, yes. Oh, perfect.
Well, first, let me commend you as parents. It's certainly been a pleasure to work with these kids. They are wonderful children, and I can certainly see why. I mean, a parent that would take the time out to come to a performance at 10:30 a.m. has to be someone that's very invested in their child. So I'd like to commend all of you, and you all should give your parents a round of applause. Well, I'm not going to do too much talking, but you probably, most of you probably don't know a whole lot about the instrument. The steel drums were invented in Trinidad and Tobago in around the it evolved between 1940 and the late 40s, basically. And I am from Trinidad and Tobago. The Rhythm Project is a program that's funded by the Virginia Arts Festival. We have programs throughout the region for elementary through high school students. So the instruments may look like a little bit like shiny trash cans. And technically, that is what they are, because it started basically from discarded 55-gallon oil drums. And how that came about is that there was a naval base, a U.S. naval base in Trinidad during World War II, and the main source of revenue in the Trinidadian economy is oil. So during the war, the demand for oil increased, and they used 55-gallon drums to transport that oil from place to place. When they were done with it, they basically threw it into different waterways and just different dumps. And Winston Spree Simon, who is accredited with having invented the drum. Of course, there are some conflicting views, like anything historical, but he basically discovered that if you made different indentations on it of different sizes, and I can show you the inside of the drum. So it has, each pitch is basically a slightly different size. The lower ones are the bigger notes, and the higher notes are the really small ones on the inside. So, and the basic technique is that you strike gently with rubber-tipped mallets, and from there you just learn basically where the notes are placed on the drum, because if you notice, these are single drums. You'll notice when the kids come up, the people over here will be playing one drum. Then we have people playing 2 drums, and then back there we have one person playing as many as 6 drums for the bass notes. So that's basically how it works. And if no further ado, I'm going to present the kids to you guys. We're not all refined and polished with our playing, because we've only had 3 sessions, as Ms. Kingan said, but I think they've done very well in that short space of time. Granted that they were all beginners, but they were all very attentive and cooperative. So first we'll start with the 6th grade class.